Welcome to Pharma Center. Today we are going to see exam point of view important questions in Pharmaceutical Chemistry 1. Here I have given chapter wise important questions which will be very useful to you. Totally there are 14 chapters in Pharmaceutical Chemistry 1 subject. We can see one by one. Chapter 1, that is acids, bases and buffers. So there are 4 important questions. Question number 1, explain Lewis acids and Lewis base with suitable examples. Question number 2, what are buffers? Give 2 examples of pharmaceutical buffers and their uses. Third question, describe briefly about official buffers and define buffer capacity and explain briefly about Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Question number 4, so write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions and chemical incompatibility of the following drugs. We can see which are the drugs. First one is boric acid, second one is hydrochloric acid, third one is sodium hydroxide and fourth one is strong ammonium hydroxide. So these are the 4 important questions in first chapter. Then second chapter, that is antioxidants. So question number 1, define antioxidants. Question number 2, write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions and chemical incompatibility of the following drugs. Subdivision A, sodium thiosulfate, subdivision B, hypophosphorus acid and subdivision C, sodium bisulfate. Chapter 3, gastrointestinal agents. So there are 5 important questions in gastrointestinal agents. Question number 1, define cathartics with example. Question number 2, define antacids with example. Question number 3, explain about combination of antacid preparation. Fourth question, define adsorbents with example. Fifth question, write the chemical structure, physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions and chemical incompatibility of the following drugs. Subdivision A, sodium bicarbonate. Subdivision B, aluminium hydroxide gel. Subdivision C, calcium carbonate. So calcium carbonate is also known as precipitated chalk. And subdivision 4, magnesium sulfate, which is also known as Epsom salt. So these are the 5 important questions in chapter 3, gastrointestinal agents. Coming to 4th chapter, that is topical agents, there are 2 important questions. First question is you have to define protectives, that is define protectives. And second question is write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions and chemical incompatibility of the following drugs, that is calamine, titanium dioxide, talc and zinc oxide. Chapter 5, antimicrobials and astringents. First question, define antimicrobial with examples. Second question, define astringent with examples. Third question, assay of hydrogen peroxide. Fourth question, write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions and chemical incompatibility of the following drugs. So first drug hydrogen peroxide, second drug potassium permanganate, third drug iodine, fourth drug povidone iodine, fifth drug silver nitrate, sixth drug alum and seventh drug zinc sulfate. So these are the 4 important questions in antimicrobials and astringents. Chapter 6, that is dental products. So there are 3 important questions in dental products. We can see one by one. First question, what is meant by anticaries agent? Second question, define inhalants with example. And third question, write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions, and chemical incompatibility of the following drugs. So there are two important drugs, that is sodium fluoride and nitrous oxide. So these are the three important questions in chapter 6, dental products. Now coming to chapter 7, respiratory stimulant. First, you should know the definition of the respiratory stimulant. Second, write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions, and chemical incompatibility of the following ammonium carbonates. So whatever may be the topic, first you should know the definition of that topic very much with examples. So coming to chapter 8, expectorants and emetics. First question, what is meant by expectorant with examples? Question number 2, define emetics with examples. Question number 3, assay of ammonium chloride. Question number 4, write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions, and chemical incompatibility of the following. So the drug is ammonium chloride. So these are the 4 important questions in chapter 8, that is expectorants and emetics. Coming to chapter 9, that is antidotes. There is only one compound in the antidote topic, that is sodium nitrate. So you have to read that topic very much, it is important. So first question, define antidotes with example. Second question, write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions, and chemical incompatibility of the following drug, that is sodium nitrate. Coming to chapter 10, so major intra and extracellular electrolyte. So it is a very much important chapter in Pharmaceutical Chemistry 1 subject. So there are 6 questions. So first question, write note on major intra and extracellular electrolytes. Question number 2, write notes on electrolytes used for replacement therapy, and you should explain about sodium chloride and its preparations. Question number 3, write note on physiological acid-base balance. Question number 4, explain briefly about sodium bicarbonate injections. Question number 5, explain briefly about sodium citrate. Question number 6, explain about combination of electrolyte powders. So these 6 questions are very important in this chapter. Chapter 10, major intra and extracellular electrolyte. Coming to chapter 11, inorganic official compounds. There is only one important question and it has 4 subdivisions. We can see one by one. First question, write the physical and chemical properties, medicinal and pharmaceutical uses, storage conditions, and chemical incompatibility of the following drugs. Subdivision A, ferrous sulfate. Subdivision B, calcium gluconate. Subdivision C, iron. And subdivision D, iodine. Coming to chapter 12, that is a radiopharmaceuticals and contrast media. This is also one of the important chapter in this subject. So there are 5 important questions. So you should read all the questions. Surely 1 or 2 questions will come in main exam from this chapter. So first question, what are radioactive compounds, and explain various types of rays. So you have to briefly explain alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays properties. Second question, write application of radiopharmaceuticals. Third question, explain GM counter, that is Jaeger-Muller counter, with a neat label diagram. Fourth question, describe briefly about radio opaque contrast media, and you have to explain about barium sulfate. Fifth question, radioisotopes, that means you have to write a uses, storage and precautions while handling radioisotopes, and you have to explain about the radioisotopes. So these are the 5 important questions in chapter 12, radiopharmaceuticals and contrast media. Coming to chapter 13, that is quality control of drugs and pharmaceuticals. There are 3 important questions. We can see one by one. First question, explain briefly about sources of impurities in pharmaceuticals. Second question, explain the importance of quality control in pharmaceuticals. And third question, so write the limit test for the following. These 3 limit tests are very important. Surely one question will come from limit test in main exam. So first limit test for chloride, second limit test for arsenic, and third limit test for iron. So there are 3 important questions in this chapter. So read all the questions thoroughly. Coming to chapter 14, identification test. First question, write brief note on Indian pharmacopoeia. And second question, write the identification test for the following compounds. Subdivision A, ammonium chloride. Subdivision B, barium sulfate. Subdivision C, ferrous sulfate. And subdivision D, sodium bicarbonate. So that's all. So you have to read all the questions. So I have uploaded all the important questions. Don't omit any one of these questions. So read all the questions and surely you will be cracking a high mark in main exam. If you like this channel, you can subscribe this channel and like and share our videos. And stay tuned for upcoming videos. Thank you.